Green to green, dude. Let's go. Ready!
This dude heard me. God damn! It's a pocket sniper. It's a pocket sniper. We're good. Everything's good. We're fine. Everything's fine. Hey guys, welcome back. So I wanted to do a quick and dirty video about the CTE that was released yesterday. That is the community test environment for Insurgency Sandstorm, and go over a couple of things that we got in the update, which is 2 new pistols, pistol optics, finally, and the new map, which is Citadel. So just background on Citadel. Back in 1.9, when they released Operation Cold Blood, they said it was not going to be Citadel, but it was going to be BAB. And what they did was they essentially cut the map in half. So BAB was the first half of Citadel, and then the actual map Citadel is after you get through BAB, which is Gate. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's just basically one map that they cut in half and made BAB into one map and Citadel into a map of itself. Call it what you will. I think that's kind of cool. I would have rather seen both of them put together, but after seeing the size of Citadel, I can see where performance was probably going to take a huge nosedive if they were going to make both maps into one full map, as it didn't look that big in the beginning. Once I started playing through it and playing Push and enjoying Push for the first time in a long time, Citadel is actually a very large map, and it almost feels like BAB is actually half the size of Citadel. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of take a look at Citadel, we're going to take a fly through real quick, and then we're going to get into the 2 most obvious biggest updates is going to be the Deagle and the revolver that were put into the game, along with us finally getting some pistol optics as well. Quick disclaimer before we get into the fly-through of Citadel: if you are going to try the CTE, please be aware that when I came back to the live version of the game, most of my options for the CTE floated over to the live version, so I had no presets of cosmetics, I had no presets for my loadouts, and I had a couple of my key bindings reset as well. So just a quick heads up, if you're trying the CTE, make sure you check everything on your live environment, because I had to redo all my cosmetic presets and all my loadouts. I still had all of my cosmetics and everything. I didn't have to like re-buy anything or grind anything out, but everything was reset back to defaults, and I had no cosmetics and no loadouts. Anyways, moving on. Here we're going to start on the security side of Push. So right behind the camera here is going to be the giant wall that you see at the end of BAB. Well, I guess it'd more or less be a gate, and you can see that the security will push out from the right side there, and this little church looking thing is actually going to be point A for security. And I just really love the environment in this map. It looks like a rainy day. It kind of looks like Refinery in that way, and I really learned to like this map. And we come in here, we can see this kind of like, it looks like a destroyed church to me, and all the bottom level of this church is going to be point A for push security, and the insurgents will kind of spawn right behind me during their first wave. And as we look around, we'll capture that point, and then you'll start pushing through this more, it kind of almost looks like an early civilization kind of thing going on. The whole thing kind of almost looks like a church or like a old bazaar, and it goes from this kind of more open for the first point and then turns into more of a tell feeling as you get these really close quarters. And as you come through here, there's lots of tunnels and just tight spaces that you can get into. As we look through here, this is going to be another route you can use as security to get to point B and Push, and it just looks really nice. The whole ambiance and everything. In here we got a couple spaces. That mannequin got me quite a few times. I shot at that more times than I'm willing to admit. And we'll come through this alleyway right here. Normally you'd go off to the right to get to the point, but we're going to come up here. We're just going to take a nice little overview real quick, and we can see the stadium and another church or chapel to our left. And we can see over here on top where we were running through the tunnels before, this is all playable area as well that people can get up onto and look into B. And we will come over here. You can also come from the left as well when you're pushing through. But then we get to point B, which is what I can only assume is stadium, is what we're going to call this. And within that circle in the middle is going to be your point B. It's a little tight, and it kind of feels like you're shooting fish in the barrel when you can have people up top here, as this is where the insurgents will spawn. They can kind of just look down at you and pick you off from up above. But it's a really cool cosmetic, and it just looks really cool. So you'll have people flooding in from the left and the right side with insurgents coming through the stadium entrance, which we're going to go through here in just a bit. If we look up, we can see that another, I assume, church just on fire. Maybe that's part of the museum. And then we can see the cathedral off to the left, where you can push on to the next point as well once you capture point B, that is down below. So now we're going to kind of go through one of my favorite parts, which is, I believe, what they're going to call the excavation site, where they have a whole bunch of cool stuff. Like, I was just honestly running through here and like looking at all these things. They have the pots down there. They have a couple of pictures as well, and there's quite a few different directions that you can go in here. There wasn't a lot of fighting going on in here. These were more used for spawn points and to get to the next location, but I really like this part of the map. And we have the statue over here that just, again, it just looks cool. It looks really nice. And we'll just come through here a little bit. This was a weird drawing that I found. Not sure the symbolism of that, but it was just weird and cool. I love all the art that they put in here. So once you take point B, you'll most likely be pushing up through here to get onto the right side of C. And you can go down below to another entrance, but we're going to go up above real quick. You get this nice open area. Again, I feel like this would be a really cool place to fight in, but there's not a lot of fighting that goes on right here because the next point is further on. And so that kind of feels like it was the first half of the map, and then we get into this whole other second half of the map, and this is where the fighting starts going on in push, as the C objective is going to be right across this kind of valley, and you got this huge valley with long sight lines, and it almost turns from a close quarters and tunnels feeling once you take point A and B, and it just completely swaps to this long distance feeling map where there's a whole bunch of sniping going on, which I feel like we don't get in a lot of the other maps, because you kind of feel like you can just go with one loadout and that'll pretty much set you up for the entire map. But when I got here, all of a sudden I felt like, okay, I need to switch my gun up, I need to switch my settings and actually look at doing more of a long range battle instead of, you know, going full ham with my VHS or, you know, my little revolver that I was trying to kill everybody with. So once you're here, you're gonna need a lot of smoke, you're gonna need a lot of everything, and it turns into a completely different battle at this point. And I just think that's a really cool dynamic that we haven't seen yet in any of the maps, at least I haven't noticed in any of the maps. And I really think push players are really going to enjoy that. If we come in here, this is actually the C objective for the insurgents. It's pretty small, and it just kind of takes up this brick area. You can also come up to the top of this objective as well, where lots of people like to snipe over to the hill where the security forces will be coming from. They also keep adding these mounted LMGs, which I am all for, and you can just lay down fire to that cliffside while also being, you know, a sitting target for all the snipers that will be looking for heads. And then if we come back here, there's a little bit of ruins that I personally use like pretty much all the time, both when I was defending as an insurgent and pushing as security. And you could just post up right here, and you could see the left side where they would be coming out and trying to flank you on the left. And you could also see an entrance to basically directly in front of you where they could also funnel out from as well. But if you wanted to get a different angle, you can come through here, and you can actually get behind these rocks, and you can look directly into that tunnel where security can actually push out from as well, and they'll try to get down below the ravine, and you can just get so many long shots. The Mosin with a 6X was just awesome to use on Insurgent side at this point in particular, because it was just so open, and it just completely changed the map and the map flow and made you reevaluate your loadout. It's going to have to be a lot of smokes, a lot of artillery strikes. I don't play push that often, so I can't really tell, but this is going to be an interesting point. And then we look over here to the final point, which is going to be that building in the back there, which is going to be where you detonate the cache. And this is really cool for me because I really like these like World War I, World War II trenches that you can run through. And there was actual fighting going on in here, so that's really why I liked it, is you could actually take fights here in this area. You are actually going to get combat in here, and it's just so much fun when you're running through these trenches. You got these close quarters. It again, going from that sniper location to close quarters again just feels really good. And you push through this really nice looking bridge, and we're just going to take a quick overview look at the last cache point for push security. Just a really nice map. And this last point gets incredibly claustrophobic. Most of it's been really open, but here at the very end, you're basically laying siege to this tiny building right here and trying to get into a very small spot to get the cache. So they will be all held up into this tiny spot, and you will have to push up these stairs to get up to the cache. And there's another level above. And if we come in here, this is actually where the cache will be. I, for some reason, could not get through the door as the spectator cam, but the cache will be behind that door. And then there's also this little camping spot where people can post up and wait for you to try to get into the cache entrance, which I think is a great difference from, you know, normal people just running up, maybe being 20 meters away and just chucking an incendiary grenade on it and then calling it done. You kind of actually have to push in and really seal the deal for that last point. So all in all, this map is really just a breath of fresh air, at least from a push perspective. I haven't played push and actually enjoyed push in a long time, and the dynamic of the map felt really good, where you had to change your loadouts and evaluate what you're actually using as a gun. And then the other point of it is I just really like it's dark and dreary. Some other people didn't like it when I was on the CTE. Some people are like, oh, it's gray and lifeless, but you know, it's a rainy day. It's not the sun beating down on you in the middle of a desert. And I just think it's a great change of pace from what they've normally had. And overall, just taking a look at the complete overview of this map. So we started all the way over there, which would be the end of Bab there, as you see the center of your screen. And we pushed through almost the entirety. You can see the stadium there as well, and the cathedral down below, and the kind of underpass through the mountain there. And then we come through the ravine, and then we get into the trenches, and then finally get to the last cache at this spot here. And it feels like an incredible experience playing push in this map, and I think they really nailed it here. I didn't get a lot of chances to try firefight, but for push, I feel like this was a really great map for push. Alright, and now here we are in game, because I know all you guys really just want to know about these pistols. So we did get the Deagle with this update, and we also got a revolver as well. So let's take a look at the customization real quick. We're going to take a look at the Deagle first, because at least for my game right now, I cannot look at the revolver. So we're just going to take a look at the Deagle first. There's not much to say about the Deagle. It's a Hollywood gun that literally breaks your wrist every single time you shoot it. But it's basically a one tap, and it's incredibly expensive. So most of the time you're probably going to see somebody maining the Deagle, and I can only assume there's going to be a lot of Deagle mains after this update, but we'll see if they can actually hold up to the assault rifles. So looking here, beautiful gun, looks good, looks real good. I don't care how Hollywood it is. And then you got the mini green dot and the mini red dot. I'm not a fan of the red dot, just because for some reason this top portion irks me for some reason. So I definitely like the simplicity of the mini green dot a whole lot more. You also have the compensator and the suppressor. I'm a big fan of the suppressor personally. And then just a laser sight and a quick draw holster as well. I think we'll see a lot more quick draw holster, so you'll see this being run pretty much naked with a quick draw holster, so they can run an assault rifle along with it. So real quickly, let's just take this. We'll break our wrists a couple times. We'll see if we can go ahead. Can we resupply from here? No, we're gonna have to do the console command. So we'll do that. We'll see. It's an awesome gun. It's pocket sniper. Straightforward, just pocket sniper. I really love the green dot. I feel like the green dot needs to be a little bit smaller, and also on both of the reticles, the actual placement of the reticle is slightly off to the left. But it seems like it's actually hitting where the reticle is, which is pretty annoying, not gonna lie. But again, there's not much to say about the Deagle. It's a one-tap wonder. It's loud. It basically sounds like you're sniping with this thing. It'll delete pretty much anybody you shoot. I didn't have very many times where I actually hit somebody and didn't kill them. I did have those moments, but for the most part, you're gonna destroy anybody you shoot with this gun, and it's just devastating for the most part. So like, let's just take this guy here. Let's hit him in the shoulder.
Fucking kill them!
You know, even from that distance, maybe that's a little laughable. But you know, like, again, in the shoulder. Let's do a body shot. Do any of you have armor on? This dude has heavy armor on. Let's see. You're kind of in the way there, bud. Okay, so in the leg, not gonna kill him. That'll take him down. Okay, hold on. I have ammo. 1 second here. Okay. Trying to get a good beat on this guy so I can get him right in the chest there. That's right. Deleted. Heavy armor. Deleted. And just overall dismemberment as a whole. Good stuff. Just good overall. And let's go ahead and take a look at the revolver as well. Though you can't see it here, the revolver does have quite a bit more customization options and costs 1 supply point less than the Deagle, because there is one pretty big downside that we'll get into a little bit later. So it does have a cheapo suppressor. This thing's kind of funny. So we're going to try this out real quick. And it's basically the oil can. If any y'all Modern Warfare players, I'm pretty sure this is just an oil can. Pretty hilarious. I kind of like it. Still hilarious though. And we also have the mini red dot and the mini green dot as well. We'll go ahead, let's take that off, And there are also the sniper barrel and the suppressed sniper barrel, which allows you to add on a bipod and a 2.5 scope. So you can essentially turn this thing into a small sniper, which, let me tell you, isn't horrible. Let's see, where is this guy? There he is. Let's see if we can find a place to post up real quick.
Okay, I'm on Alpha!
See if I can, just a little bit right there. So you can post up, you can just turn this into a little sniper. And I saw lots of people running it this way. This seemed to be one of the more preferred methods of running this gun. Mostly because it has no trigger delay when it has a long barrel on it. So what it does is the sniper barrel will turn it into a single action, but that will also mean when you press fire, it will fire. So it makes it a lot more responsive than if you don't have a sniper barrel on it. So even you could take this off, put on the 1X, and then all of a sudden you have no more trigger delay. But if we were to take this off, and this is really hard to tell in a video, but if we take off the sniper barrel and we make it single action, all of a sudden there's some trigger delay. And you can almost hear the click of when he engages it and when it actually fires. And it's like a quarter of a second trigger delay, but it's enough for me not to really like this and to take the Deagle over the revolver pretty much any single day of the week, unless I'm, running a hunt showdown load. I'm probably not going to use this thing. Also, with the revolver, you get this really cool reload check, and I was doing this constantly. You just get to check your mag. I just think that's so cool. Easily one of the coolest things about the revolver is that ammo check. But again, this will one tap as well, as long as you got the right distance and everything. But again, lots of people are running it in the CTE. Okay, I don't think all of a sudden we're going to see, you know, a whole bunch of sidearm mains. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they have the stopping power, but they're really cool to have, and they go along with the new mode that they put in, which is going to be their survival mode. So now that we've taken a look at the pistols, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the new survival mode real quick, and we'll go ahead and wrap up what was supposed to be a very quick video and turned into a not so quick video. So you only start with a pistol, and you will have AI, and I believe you start anywhere across the map. I could be wrong there, but because I have not had very much time on this mode at all. But as you can see, there's multiple points within the map that you can capture. Let's go. So right now, A is our current capture point. So the objective is to get over to this point and capture this point. You'll have to capture 6 points, and then somewhere on the map, you will see an extraction. And then you will need to get to that extraction to win the game. So there's lots of people that were asking for, let me go ahead and, man, that's a lot of war going on. Y'all calm down out there. So a lot of people wanted randomized objectives for push and stuff. They couldn't do that. But this way you have some randomization, because you don't have to capture, it's just a coincidence that we got A as our first objective. It could have been any one of these objectives that we would have had to capture, and then we could capture A, and then all of a sudden we'd have to capture F, or we'd have to capture D, and then we'd have to go over here to capture K, and then once we finally got to that 6th objective, then we could finally extract. Actually a really cool idea for a game mode. And if we come out here, I'm gonna get to point X, and we'll see if we can find one of these crates that are normally around here. So at your capture points, we don't have this one here because this isn't the one we're supposed to capture, but once you capture these points, you can actually use these boxes, and they will give you a random weapon, and they will give you ammo for it. So that's one way to upgrade from your pistol, because you're only starting out with just this pistol. So the idea is to come out here, and you'll just, you know, take out an AI, grab their gun, grab this, and then, you know, just keep on keeping on, and you have to work your way all the way through these AI to get over to objective A, that is all the way back, basically in security spawn for push. And it's actually pretty cool. I could see actually playing this. I'm not much of a checkpoint person myself, the co-op, but this is a new kind of co-op twist that I could definitely get behind. And every single one of these guys, you can just basically pick up their loadouts, and once your ammo goes black, then you just got another loadout. Thought I heard an AI, that's just a flag. Let's actually get in here real quick. I don't know where I'm going apparently, but you guys get the idea. It's kind of where they were going with the extraction.
Great Alpha.
And then in here, don't believe you can use it until you actually capture the point. Yeah, you have to actually capture the point first. But then, see, you have these crates where they will give you a nice little gun. Give you something really good, or it could get you something really crappy. Just depends. But this is definitely one of the cooler modes that they've added in a long time. And then, again, you capture 6 objectives, you get to the extraction point, and then you win. So, I believe that is where the... Oh my god. Okay, everybody just spawned. So we capture the point, and all of a sudden we can do this. We can open it up. Oh, look at there. We got a FAMAS. Nice. And then you just keep on keeping on. Let's see. The next one is E. So you get them at random. Cool game mode. Cool game mode overall. It's not for PvP, but they said that they're cooking up something for PvP. But until then, I could actually see, you know, a chill day when I just don't want to deal with PvP, I would actually play the survival mode. And they did say that survival mode is going to be a permanent addition to the game. It's not going to be a limited time mode or anything like that. So this is actually going to stick around for hopefully a good while. I hope people really like this. I really love the idea of this. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for the video, guys. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out, watching the videos and whatnot, but I hope you guys go out and check out the CTE, get a good look at this map. It's just, I can't get enough of this, and I can't wait for this to come to live, mostly because I just want to play more firefight on it, because everybody just wants to play push all the time, and I want to get some firefight in. But all in all, just looking around, it's absolutely gorgeous. So thank you guys, I really appreciate you, and until next time, we'll catch you later.